Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I was not expecting to film today, but something just told me that I needed to film this because if I don't, I'm just never gonna get to it. So today I'm going to be talking about how to stop a binge cycle. And for those who don't know what binging is, actually before we get into it, I just wanted to say a trigger warning. I'm talking about an eating disorder here. I'm going to be saying things that could potentially be triggering for people. So I'm going to be talking about weight, eating, restricting, binging, and all those kinds of things. And I'm not a professional, so I'm sure I'm going to say some things that are just not right or maybe worded wrong. So if you are like triggered by these kinds of things, definitely click out of this video. And also, I know I haven't really been filming that much. My last video, I was talking about my eating disorder. And having an eating disorder is really, really hard. And I thought I wanted to be really open about it. And I thought I was prepared to recover. But eating disorders are just really, really hard. And I was not expecting for it to be that hard. So I just decided to, recover like by myself and do it privately and not share it online. But now that I feel a little bit better, I wouldn't say I'm 100% recovered, but I'm definitely doing a lot better. I feel like I'm ready to share some things and some tips and some experiences and stories that I have about my eating disorder. So today I'm going to be talking about how to stop a binge cycle. So first things first, I was diagnosed with bulimia oh my god, I thought we were still in 2022. We're actually in 2023. So crazy. But and oh my god, this hair is just not it. But anywho, I was diagnosed with bulimia early 2022. I knew that I had an eating disorder way back when I was like a teenager, but I was officially diagnosed with bulimia in early 2022. So with bulimia, I have a tendency of binging, which binging is overeating and not having control of your food intake and just eating and eating and eating. And then I restrict. And then restricting is basically starving. Eating low amounts of calories, and yeah, so bulimia is kind of like that cycle of binging and then restricting, and there's other forms of bulimia which I'm going to get into, so trigger warning if you are triggered by these kinds of things. Obviously there's laxatives, there's induced vomit, and there's things like that. I did use laxatives and I did try. No, oh my god, my dog is barking. If my dog barks again, I'm gonna be so sad. I'm trying to film this in one take, by the way. So there's vomiting, there's restricting calories, and there's laxatives. And there's also like over-exercising and things like that. And I would say I did everything but vomit. I mean, that's something that I definitely tried, but it's not something that I could get into. But my main issue was binging and restricting. That was like my and it still kind of is a struggle of mine, that cycle. And I'm currently in a binge cycle. And what that means is basically I cannot stop binging. Oh my dog is growling and barking and I don't know what to do. I might have to pause it and then like fix that or see what's up with him. But he looks like he's fine, so I'm just gonna keep going. That's my cycle, is binging, restricting, and I've been binging uncontrollably lately, and I just cannot stop. And this seems to be like a recurring theme for me, is I start binging and it's not something that I can stop, and it just keeps going like day after day after day, and like it sucks. And I know a lot of people out there struggle with this, with a binge cycle and not being able to stop. It's like the hardest thing. If you look at me, I'm not overweight. I'm actually underweight still. But just because I'm underweight doesn't mean that I don't eat, and just because I'm underweight doesn't mean that I don't binge, and just because I'm underweight doesn't mean that I don't go through binge cycles. Binge cycles are horrible, and I've been binging for a week straight now, and like that's not my longest that I've been through a cycle, but it's hard to stop. So in today's video, I'm just going to be talking about my tips on how to stop a binge cycle. These are just things that have worked for me. I'm not sure if they're going to work for you. And like I said, I'm not a professional. So if you are dealing with these kinds of things, definitely look for a professional, go to therapy, go to a doctor, because these things are very serious. My lord, they might not seem serious, but they actually really are. And I think it's really important to get help, which I have gotten help. But I just wanted to put it out there. I'm not a professional, and if you are going through this, definitely seek help. It's never too late, and it's not a bad thing to want and to get help. So I wrote on my phone some tips that I wrote. So yes, I'm gonna go one by one. So the first thing that I put, like I said, I'm not a therapist or a professional. Okay. What I have noticed is being like, okay, on Monday, I'm going to stop binging. A lot of people are like, don't wait for Monday, just like stop binging tomorrow. And for me, the week, like the calendar and how the way the week works, it's really hard for me to like stop binging on a Thursday. Cause I'm like, that's just the type of person that I am. Listen, if you can stop binging the day after, kudos to you. But for me, it's like, I find it easier to stop binging on a Monday. So, yeah, because if I stop binging on a Thursday, then Friday comes along and I'm like, hey, it's like the end of the week, it's the weekend, the week is almost over, might as well just binge today. And then I'll binge Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you can stop binging at any day, like obviously do that. If you can really put your mind into stopping binging the day after, do that. But what works for me is waiting for Monday, because it's a fresh start, it's a fresh week, it's a new beginning. And I just feel like for me, psychologically and mentally, it just makes more sense to stop binging in the beginning of the week. Because if I stop binging on a Thursday, I'm just gonna be like, hey, it's Friday, it's the weekend, like I'm tired, I've been working all week, I really want food, and it's just easy to like pick it back up later that week. So yeah, that's just a tip for me. For some reason, the way my brain works, stopping a binge on a Monday seems to just help me tremendously, because that's just the way that my brain works. I don't know how to explain it. So you could definitely give that one a try. So the next tip that I have is, okay, so this is where I feel like people might have a problem with what I'm going to say. And I just wanted to say that, like, this is my viewpoints. These are my feelings. These are my thoughts. And just because I think this doesn't mean that I think this for everyone. And just because I think this doesn't mean that everyone has to think the same way. So binging, whenever I binge, I feel very dirty. I feel so dirty. The amount of food that I eat is disgusting. And I know people might twist this and say that I'm fat phobic and that I'm, going to stereotype, how do I say this? I'm promoting the stereotype that fat people are gross and disgusting. And that's not what I'm saying at all. I don't think fat people are gross or disgusting. I think when I binge, I feel gross and disgusting. That's just how I feel. And you can't take that feeling from me. And like I said, I'm not calling if you're fat, if you're binging, I don't view you as disgusting. But when I do it, I really, really feel gross. I'm bloated, I'm full, I have like food everywhere. I usually binge in my bed, so my bed it gets dirty, and that's like really sad and embarrassing. But that's just the truth. I eat in my bed, and things just get really, really messy. So for me, I feel like cleaning always helps me get out of a cycle, and that means like shaving or cleaning my bed or cleaning my teeth, like cleaning. Like that's what I did. So I wanted to say I've been in a binge cycle for a week now, and today is Tuesday, and today I have not binged, and I really hope that I don't binge. But all day yesterday at night, I was cleaning and cleaning and cleaning for today, so that I can feel clean and not want to dirty myself with binging. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that feeling is universal or just me, but whenever I binge, I just feel so dirty and gross and disgusting. I feel bloated, full, like I need to vomit, so much food, like my breath. out of my bed. Like, it just, binging can get dirty. Like, it really, really can. So one tip is to clean, and maybe it will prevent you from binging. And that's just, like I said, these are my tips. These are things that have helped me. I don't know if they're gonna help for you. They're not universal. So, okay. So, I think like having a distraction is really important, and it helps me a lot. So I'm really into gaming. I love gaming like so much. So I feel like using different things as a form of escapism, more healthier things. I think this is an obvious statement, and if you're listening to this, you're like, obviously I would love to work out, or I would love to play video games instead of binging. But truly, if you find a passion and if you find something that you thoroughly enjoy, definitely do that. I love gaming, and whenever I binge, it's not always just like emotional, you know what I mean? But when I binge, it sometimes is to escape, it's sometimes to feel better, it's like out of control. And if you can put all that energy into something better, something more healthy, I wouldn't say like becoming addicted to something else. I'm not trying to become addicted to gaming, but I could definitely use gaming, which is a passion of mine, to prevent me from binging. So if I ever want to binge, I'll play video games, and I'll try to distract myself from the wanting or the desire of binging. So that's what I'm trying to, oh man, I said it and I forgot. Oh man, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, it's like a distraction. Definitely find a distraction, find something that you can put that energy to that thing. Like I said, so for me, it's gaming, which is healthier than binging. Binging is really dangerous. It's like not good. It's bad for so many things. So, and I do want to say how I feel. Like, bulimia for me is, binging is the devil, and restricting is the angel. So whenever I binge, I feel so out of control. I feel like I let myself go. I feel bad. I feel sad. And that's just the twisted view of having bulimia is the angel being restricting and the devil being binging. And I just feel so, whenever I binge, I feel so bad. I feel so bad. Like, you have no idea. And I'm sure a lot of people do. And a lot of people would want to stop immediately. But sometimes the binging just keeps going and you just can't stop it. And like binging, and also binging is really expensive. Like, it's so expensive. I spent like $80 in 2 days just for food. And I don't make that much money. Like at all. So, binging is just hard, and it's like an addiction. It really is an addiction. It's an addiction, and you're just out of control, and you need to eat food, and you need it. And the sad reality of it is, like, it's hard to stop. So not only is it hard on my body and hard for me mentally, but like my bank account is like also suffering from my binging cycles, because binging is really, really expensive. I mean, food is becoming more and more expensive. So it sucks. It just sucks. So yeah, I'm gonna see another tip that I have. I think the hardest thing when it comes to a binging cycle is like maintenance. I think like for me, I find it not that hard to stop. Like, sometimes it's really hard to stop, and sometimes it's really easy for me to stop. I find myself like for my binging to be easy to stop. But even if I stop it, it's the maintenance. I end up binging again, and then the cycle kind of continues, and it sucks. That's why it's called a cycle. It's just in and out. So yeah, so maintenance is like the key to that, which is something that I haven't perfected. Like, I stopped binging today, and who knows what'll happen this weekend. So maintenance is just really, really hard, and that's why I think we need and we deserve help. Like, if you're going through this, definitely go to a therapist, seek help. Like, these kinds of things are just so hard, and whenever I binge, I feel like it puts a pause in my life. I feel fat, I feel bloated. Look at me, I'm wearing a turtleneck and long sleeve in Miami. I mean, and it is winter in Miami, but like it's like 80 degrees right now, so I'm like dying. But whenever I binge, I tend to stay home and binge and feel bloated and feel nasty, and I don't go out, and I basically put a pause in my life, and I'm like way too ashamed to go out. I'm like bloated, my face is puffy, and all I want to do is eat. So I feel like binging puts a pause in my life, and it sucks. Like that's the part that I hate, and I feel like I can't. Oh my god, I feel like I have something in my eye. Okay, I feel like when I stop binging is when I can resume my life, and that's not a good way to live, like at all. Honestly, it's just really, really not. And yeah, so binging. I mean, I feel like I've said binging, the word binging, like 1,000 times, but this is the topic of today's video. And also, if you guys have tips on how you guys stop a binge cycle, definitely leave it in the comment section below. I feel like we can definitely give each other good tips and help each other out in the comments. I feel like I have a lot of sympathy and empathy for people who have or like deal with binging and just cannot stop, because I understand. I get it. And like, because I'm underweight, a lot of times whenever I talk about binging, a lot of people kind of just ignore me or just kind of push me aside. And I get it. I'm really skinny. I'm underweight, but I still go through binge cycles. I mean, and if you have anorexia, that doesn't mean that you have to be underweight. And because, like, just because you have an eating disorder doesn't mean you're going to look a certain way. And because I'm underweight doesn't mean that I don't binge. So I have much of a, how do I word this? I have much of an experience and a say about binging as much as, you know, someone that's overweight. We both go through this. If we both go through binge cycles, we both go through this. And yeah, so I don't really know where I was going, where the direction of that topic was going, but I just felt like saying that because I feel like every time I bring it up to someone, they're just like, hey, you're skinny, like, shut up. Like, that's not the way it works, like, at all. So, but yeah, I think that's, the last thing on my list is just to tell a therapist, and I think that's really important, is to tell a therapist. And yeah, that's kind of everything that I have, like all of my tips. This hair is looking so bad, but whatever. Oh my god, I thought I made it worse. Okay, whatever. So yeah, that's kind of all the tips that I have. I hope that my binge cycle stops today. I haven't binged today, and I did everything that I needed to do, like all the tips that I have, and hopefully they work. And like I said, I'm so sorry if you're going, I mean, if you're watching this, you're either like a friend of mine, a family of mine, or you're going through a binge cycle. So I'm sure most viewers that are watching this are going through a binge cycle, and I'm so sorry that you're going through that. Like, I feel your pain. It's like, you want to stop so bad, and truly, it's an addiction. It's like so addicting. Food is like addicting, and you just have to eat, and you need food, and it sucks. It's made me like very depressed when I can't stop. Like I said, I feel like I have to put a pause in my life. I feel like it's the devil. I feel out of control. I feel gross. I feel nasty. And not only that, but like physically, like I'm so bloated. Like, and I have like constipation issues. So like I can't flush it out as easily as some people can. So I really do pay the consequences. So yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted to make videos regarding eating disorders, but I felt today, for some reason, I just felt like making this video. Something just compelled me to do it. I'm not sure what it is. And because I'm not 100% recovered, I'm still going through my own little demons, but I'm definitely a lot better than where I was like a couple months ago. So I feel much more prepared and ready to talk about it. And if I can use my voice and my channel to talk about these topics that I know are really hard, I might as well do it. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm not a professional, so please take this with a faint of heart. I think that's how the saying is. And definitely, if you want to leave your story, a tip, or just anything in the comments, definitely do that. I will be responding as much as I possibly can. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.